Good morning from a very grey and rainy Rotterdam. We are at my favorite train station. If you don't know, it's finally time to do secrets of the Rotterdam Metro. Alright, firstly a quick overview of the system. The Rotterdam Metro is the first metro system in the Netherlands, opening in 1968 with the North-South line or Erasmus-line. The system then got an East-West line named the Colored Line, and the name stayed like this until 2010 when the color and naming scheme that we know today got introduced. The latest extension of the system was in 2019 and 2022 when Line B got extended to the Port of Hoek of Holland and the North Sea. With 5 lines and 103 kilometers of track, Rotterdam Metro is the largest metro system in the Benelux. Now let's go to our first stop at Kralingse, where you can take a fully autonomous pod, similar to those found at Heathrow Airport. It's also, by the way, the best place to film some TikTok videos apparently. Welcome to the ParkShuttle. This is a private pod system. It's linking the Rivium Business Park with Kralingse metro station. It opened early 20th century, so it's really early, and from the beginning it was an automated system. And if you look at the pod itself, it's very small. It's not meant to carry a lot of people, but yeah, it's very fun. I will be making a future video about this because this is definitely worth its own video, so subscribe to see that video. But for now, let's move on to our next facts. While they're really cool, they're fully grade separated and do not mix with other modes of traffic. But later in the video we go take an autonomous vehicle better than these pods. But for now, let's continue. We are here close to the Erasmus University in Rotterdam, right above the metro lines A, B and C. When they were planning this section of the metro, they were planning to build a station right underneath us, but eventually decided to build a station further on. That station is Kralingse. But they were so far in the planning stages that the entrance is still present, and if you go close to the door, you can still feel the currents of the metros passing through, and you can even hear them. Yeah. Alright, let's go on the ground and get off at Oostplein. We are here at Oostplein station, where previously there was a transportation museum built in the station, but unfortunately it had to be demolished. But in exchange they posted these posters all over the station with the history of the most iconic vehicles of the Rotterdam transportation network, like this really old iconic tram. But if you think that's cool, on the other side, you have all the history of the metro. Next up is Blaak, but we need to go down to the train platforms for our next secret. We are here at Rotterdam Blaak station, which is a very important transportation hub in the center of Rotterdam, where you can change between the metro and the train. But a fun fact that not a lot of people know is that you have a giant city wall excavated when the station was built. So the station existed for a very long time, but in the 90s it was decided to put this station underground. And when they excavated this station, they found not only a medieval city wall of Rotterdam, but also some very old archaeological things from that age, like from the 15th and 16th century, like old spears and armor, which is really cool, and I'm shocked that not a lot of people actually know this. Continuing after Blaak, look out of the window on the right to see an ad display moving with the train. Now we have arrived at Beurs, where all 5 lines meet. If you're confused whether you're on the east-west line or north-south line, the east-west line has red signage, while the north-south line has blue signage. Now let's go north. But firstly, let's quickly use the only Spanish solution track in the Netherlands and go through a metro train to the other platform. Alright, that was fun. Now we go back outside towards The Hague. Here we are right now on Metro Line E. We are actually on an old NS line. Previously, until 2006, this was a very heavily used train line serving a lot of communities in and around Rotterdam. But in 2006, the RET, the metro company, took this entire line over and transformed it into a metro line. But until 2010, it still used the old train terminal at Hofplein. But in 2010, a new tunnel was opened going to Rotterdam Central Station. And now this metro line goes underground after Melatagon. I have no idea on screen. After this station, we'll go underground and we'll go into the city center, serving the city center directly with the communities living in the north of Rotterdam. Yes, until 2010, the metro/trains used this viaduct to terminate at this station on the border of the city center. You can still see the old platform on the roof of this building, and using an overpass you can go up to the platform. Unfortunately, you cannot go on the platform. But this overpass does go over the tracks going into Rotterdam Central Station. So it's a good spot to look at trains passing by. If these giant walls weren't installed, Jesus Christ, it smells like weed here. But on this viaduct there was another station, and we can get there using a tram. And here we are. It is now actually a really cool cafe. We are here at Bergweg Station, a really nice cafe restaurant with a lot of eateries and drinks. We got ourselves a hot chocolate. But this is also the location of the old railway and metro station, Bergweg. It's a cool place to eat and to also witness the cool history of the metro and the trains. During the summers, you can even go upstairs to the roof on the original train tracks. But unfortunately, as it is November, it's closed, unfortunately. So that's for another time. Yes, this cafe is so freaking cool. So many things related to the railways you can find here. I can spend an entire day here, not kidding. But we really have to continue showing you more secrets. So welcome to Wilhelminaplein station, which you will get off when going to the airport. Oh, welcome to Rotterdam Airport. Well, actually not. This is the airport station, 1 or 2 kilometers from the actual airport. But recently they added a new innovation. They added fully automated buses. And there should be one coming in a couple of minutes, so let's take it together. Yes, replacing these normal buses are these experimental fully automatic buses, and unlike the ParkShuttle pods, this bus is allowed on public roads. We are currently on a fully automatic bus going to the airport. Yes. Alright. almost fully automatic. There's still a driver present, but he's not touching the steering wheel at all. He's just monitoring the bus, and we will take over if there are any mistakes. But right now, like for example, we are just stopped to give priority to cars. There are no traffic lights. The bus is that smart that it stopped to give priority to cars. So in that case, it is actually almost fully automatic. It's a pilot program, and the idea is to have these buses run as an actual shuttle between Wilhelminaplein metro station and the airport, like fully automatic with no driver at all, just shuttling a couple of times per hour between the metro station and the airport. I find these actually really cool. Like they are really comfortable. The bus is really smart, and if it actually doesn't make any mistakes, that is actually great. I would support this. It would you would save money on drivers, so I fully support this. Continuing further north, we are joined by the light rail trams from Zoetermeer. The stations on this metro line and also on the light rail trams are really interesting, and they also deserve their own video. So I'm gonna leave all the secrets to the upcoming video. But because these are low floor trams, stations on this portion of the line have low platforms for the trams and high platforms for the metro. Also interesting, you have to check in and out before entering the metro, but you can check in on the tram. So you have these check-in poles on the platform only for the metro. Line E terminates here at the Hague Central station in a new terminal separated from the actual station. If you are here at the Hague Central station, please take a moment to admire the tram platforms with tram tracks going right through the station. To get to the metro station, you do have to take a couple escalators, so do keep that in mind. We're at the Hague Central station in this very beautiful new metro station that was built a couple of years ago. As the line E was an actual heavy railway line, the metro is actually used to terminate right next to the trains underneath us. But now, to separate the metro and the train, they made this beautiful station next to the bus platforms. And this year or last year, I don't really remember the date, they have opened it again for heavy rail to increase the capacity at the Hague Central station. I mean, I think this is an improvement, as I do not really like the Hague Central station on the platforms. It's a bit dark and grey, but here a lot of natural light, beautiful modern architecture. I love it. Alright, let's go back to Rotterdam. On our way back to Rotterdam, we go underground and under the big Moose River and get off at the first station. We're here at Wilhelminaplein, and something really interesting about this station is that the platform are not straight. We are a bit slanted, like my water bottle is going to the right. Like I'm not pushing at all, it's moving on its own to the right. The reason is on that side, you have the tunnel that goes under the Moose River, but at that side, the metro is going above ground on an elevated section. So in a very short section, the metro has to climb a lot of elevation, and there was not a lot of room to make the platform straight. So they made a compromise to slant the platform a bit. After Wilhelminaplein, we go back above ground and fly over Rotterdam South before arriving at probably the most insane station ever. This is the second biggest bus station in the entire country and sees so many bus departures. In just a minute, we saw 5 buses depart. We're here at Rotterdam Zuidplein, and Jesus Christ, what a mess. It's huge. You have 3 layers of transit. On the lowest level you have the departing buses. On the middle you have the entrance to this giant mall, and where the buses initially arrive to drop off passengers. And on the top level you have the metro. But it used to be a bit worse, as a couple of years ago, the bus actually waited underneath the mall. Because not a lot of buses were electric at the time, there were some concerns about pollution as the air wasn't ventilated there enough, so the pollution stuck around there for a lot, it concentrated. But now it will move outside, so hopefully it's a bit better for pollution, but not for the passengers as they have to wait outside. Anyway, it's a mess here, holy shit. I wouldn't blame you if you get lost here. If you love buses, you can probably admire this bus station for hours. So much action going on. Now we leave the busy suburbs of Rotterdam and go further south. The metro goes so far, we even go through Portugal. Alright, that was a joke, but we do stay on this metro until the very last stop.
Final stop. Don't forget to take your personal
We have arrived to a quaint, lovely neighborhood here at the terminus of line D and C called the Akkers. But what makes this endpoint so special is this giant monument called the walvis, the whale. It's two giant whale tails sticking out of the water. And normally this is already an interesting sculpture, but it became worldwide news when 5 years ago a driver lost control of his metro, crashed through the barriers and actually landed on the tail. The metro should have fallen into the water, but it landed on the tail. The architect also was in complete shock as the tail should not have the capabilities of holding on the metro, but it did for a couple of days. Looking at it today, the monument is still completely intact, as if nothing happened to it. Wow. Could have at least added like a plaque or something here to commemorate that moment, but they didn't. Bummer. Alright, where we are in the video? Almost at minutes 20. Jesus Christ. Alright, lightning round. Let's get a few things quickly. Check out Blijdorp Station. Really cool open design. Perfect for very tall Dutch people. Rotterdam Central Station has a really cool design, but as the main material used is aluminium, the official nickname of the station is Hague Central, after a dish invented in Rotterdam. Did you like the station with the info about all trams and metros? Well, at Leuvenhaven you have the same thing now with boats. Hope you like boats. Most stations have ticket gates to prevent fare evaders, but a lot of stations also allow you to skip the ticket gates by just taking an elevator. Yeah, I'm not kidding. By the way, check out this very beautiful view from Rijnhaven station. Do you like cash? Sure I do. And next to Spijkenisse Central Station, the actual bridges on the euro banknotes are recreated. At Marconiplein station, there is an abandoned platform. Before 2002, the East-West line terminated here, so the metro then also used that platform. But now it's only used in emergencies or in special events to increase the capacity of the station. On line B to Hook of Holland, freight trains also use this section of the line, but the metros have a small loading gauge. So at stations they added a separate track further from the platform to create space for the freight train. The trains, by the way, go from Verpil to overhead wires at the station. The station Melanchthonweg is correctly spelled, but the street name by the same name isn't. Stop! Enough! This video is already way too long. We need to go to the outro, otherwise I won't go to sleep. Yeah, it's completely dark outside. I'm on my way back home. Man, it was a long day of filming. So I didn't have enough time to make a proper outro. So here we are. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel and leave a thumbs up to this video. Also, if you want to support me even more, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button down below. For just 99 cents a month, it will help me a ton, and you also get some awesome perks in return. If there are any things that I missed today that you know, leave them down in the comments down below, and maybe I'll do a part 2 in the future. But for now, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!